Yeah, Enigma is like probably the least flexible hero in the game. It pretty much always could be there. Unless someone like No Tail comes along and decides to play it as a 5, and somehow it works, but very unlikely it's going to happen here. But another thing to add, it's very rare that you see an Enigma pick into a Rubik. So that's always something that Polaris now have to consider. Like, it's going to be one of those games where the threat of the black hole is worse than the actual black hole itself, because as soon as you use it, it's probably going to get stolen away, and then they've got to, contend up against another ultimate themselves. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. Going to have to be like a fast Link and Sphere BKB combo for sure.
Yeah, just I mean, it's not too bad. It's not like Rubik's always going to be alive. You might be able to just song and then catch the Rubik himself into the black hole. So there are options there. They go with the Gyrocopter. Like, we are already seeing heroes that are just not. Gyrocopter is probably the most out there hero in the series, but there's the Marcy Core as well, common in Southeast Asia, and especially with those two teams, but still not something we're used to. And I mean, Lina though, how can you get bored of Lina, right? It's just another nice game with the Lina.
Yeah,
we're all gonna be having fun with that.
How could you go wrong? You just stand back, right-click a million attacks a second, and people die. What's not to love? But yeah, so. Looking like XERXIA just got their off-laner left to pick, where Polaris, maybe a little bit of a question mark still about where they're going to go. Like, if this was an old meta, I'd say it's pretty comfortable, Lina mid, Naga carry, Enigma off-lane, position 4 Marcy. But then that would mean their POS 5 is the final pick of the entire draft, which, again, is very, very rare to see. So, yeah, I mean, Polaris could definitely be mixing some things up right now in this draft. Like, what are you, like, most sure is going to be this final pick? What position?
I'm only sure that I mean, it's so unfair, right? It's like such a weird draft that you're starting off with. You're putting me on the spot here, but I mean, I suppose this is what we're hired for. I gotta say, I think that maybe XERXIA believes it's a mid, right? They're believing that this is going to be Lina carry and Naga Marcy, or Naga and Enigma support. That's what they're feeling like. It's going to be like that. Naga support can work if you go for the shard. You have great counter initiation, and Snare is a great stun. You can use a lot of your mirror images in the early game just to, you send them to the forest to stack. You can also just send them to the enemy and they can like harass pretty well. It's interesting. It's a very specialized way of playing a sport, but it can work. So I'm guessing, if there's one role you could say they don't have, it is the mid lane. Unless Lina is the only one who could really do it.
Yeah. And even said, I was saying that's kind of an old meta way of playing out the hero, but you never know, Polaris might do it. It's still one of their, again, like, it's their next most picked hero after the Marcy, again, with like a 70% win rate on it, so very comfortable with the hero regardless. Probably, as a result, will have a bit of the flex to either put it carry or mid or wherever the hell they choose to, that's the beauty of Dota. Every single game is going to be different. But yeah, well, oh yeah, what?
I was gonna say XERXIA though, their draft is a little bit easier to understand. You have the Ember, you have the Tusk who can go either mid or off lane, which is what Polaris they're thinking is gonna be an off lane Tusk. And we come to the last pick, it's gonna be Miran. So it is gonna be a last pick support.
Is it the 4 or the 5?
I'm pretty sure it's going to go to Jing. He's the Mirana player on their team. I mean, CML could also take it if he wants. Again, this is the one of the situations where we're gonna get in the game. We'll know where everyone is. That'll make a lot of sense, because this is headache inducing. You look at it, you're like, I could.
Yeah.
I just woke up. I'm not ready for this, man.
No, this is too much notes for this early in the morning, man. Who signed us up for this?
XERXIA, could they go for a Dawnbreaker? That might be an option for them if they want as a counter. It's global presence. You can be anywhere on the map. Who will they consider going for? They go for the Invoker instead. So that is going to be their mid laner. It's going to be probably Tusk on the off lane, being played by Rapido, and Karma going to be taking the Gyrocopter. Polaris. Now it's time. You gotta start picking your heroes so we can actually start feeling a bit better for them.
Definitely.
Okay, so it's going to be the support Marcy, the mid Lina. Akash is going to be taking the Naga side, Bak on the offlane Enigma, and Miran's going to be playing 5. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. That's a little more old school with the mid Lina, but when we saw it's like either mid or carry, it's often carry, but can be played in the mid.
Yeah. I mean, there was once upon a time where we just saw, like, not obviously us, but in the history of Dota, you just always saw Lina versus Invoker mid. You know, probably the two mostly high prioritized heroes in that position, and yeah, it's going to be good. A little blast from the past, seeing this matchup go down. Who are you favouring in that situation? I feel like it's just going to be like an even trade, surely.
Yes, I think if it's a Lina Invoker, Invoker, you should be able to get your farm. If you go for the exhort, it's a little bit easier. But I mean, either way, you can throw some harass, but you have good amount of reaching because you're gonna get Quas no matter what. Lina's got long range. She's gonna get those boss. It's not really a matchup where I think either one should be getting a whole lot of kills. So I am more of a fan of the Quas Wex Invoker. I think if you can get people's mana out, it's pretty easy for XERXIA to play. Overall, really, really awkward drafts at the end. Just we're seeing the carry gyrocopter.
I like to see it. It's been a while. Mixes things up a little. I'd quite like to see the Invoker go for an exhort style because both of the side lanes have a guaranteed, decent duration stun which they could set up for the Sunstrike. Because you got the Tusk Rubik on the off lane, so Snowball with Telekinesis Lift guarantees it, and then the safe lane they've got the homing missile plus the slow from the Nature's Grasp, and they could potentially set up some pretty devious little Sunstrike kills coming in, which I like to see. I always absolutely love to see exhort invokers, but as you were saying, it's just very rare. Everyone always prioritizing the Quaswex instead, and for good reason. It has a higher success rate. It gets the job done. You can do a lot. But hey, nothing's quite as flashy as those Sunstrike kills.
Especially those blind ones, right? When they start walking up the stairs and you see the Sunstrike and he just gets me like, oh, he's so good. By the way, I want to go to the Enigma box playing. He's going to go for, straight up aura build. We have seen this, right? When you are playing against Rubik, just the fact that you have Demon Conversion makes the hero pickable in that situation. You don't really rely so much on the black hole. At the same time, you are picking Enigma to Rubik, you are sort of saying, I'm okay not using black hole. Like if we fall behind, we are okay not having the black hole as an option. Oh wow, that's a lot of trees cut.
I think Zhao was a bit confused there. He's just walking up to the trees, all of a sudden they disappear and two heroes pop out of nowhere. He's like, oh crap! Had to quickly run away. Not that they would have been able to threaten his life at all, but I think it's just scary, the fact that they appeared out of nowhere.
Or maybe he just saw his father getting murdered. He's like, Dad, no! What happened? He was right here yesterday.
And I just coming to visit the family for the holidays, and it's hot, they all get killed. That's the start of like some sort of Jason Bourne film or something like that. I don't know. Could see some rampaging treant coming along.
It's like when you cook chicken, and a lot of people, they marinate it with egg, and it's like, I will cook you in the blood of your own children. I'm like, holy crap, that is pretty wild.
that is dark as hell. Ooh, that's like, that makes some a true comeback story if ever I heard one, or just the story of revenge. We'll see how it happens.
See, I'm not the only one having internet issues to start the day, right? They're also all being like, see, my mic, my internet, my this, my that.
Yeah.
Bottom lane is going to be the Gyrocopter and the Chain Protector against the Enigma as well as the Marcy. This is a pretty solid duo of the Gyrocopter as well as the Treant, but you have a lot of mobility coming out from the Rebound and the Dispose. If it was Enigma plus something like a Spirit Breaker, you'd worry for the Enigma, but she's got Marcy to help her out, so Bok should be okay. And plus he's level 29. Nearly Grandmaster on the hero.
Yeah. That's like, when you get that close, you just want to get it. He was probably like spamming a couple of matchmaking games trying to get that final level before this series began, but he couldn't quite reach it. Coming into the series with a fresh level 30, that'd be a good feels good moment.
In the meantime, we have in the mid lane, we're going to have the Invoker versus the Lina. It's going to be the Quaswex Rubik. Quaswex Invoker. So nah. You can get what you want. It's going to be.
That always happens. I never get what I want, Otomo. It never happens.
What? I thought you said you wanted to cast with me. Is that what you said? You don't get what you want.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Of course. And JJ is probably going to go for the Urn build. He's already got queued up the Sage Mask and the. I thought I saw Ring of Protection, but either way, he is probably going for it, and that's going to help him make space around the map for his team.
Yeah, definitely. gonna see that classic combo coming out. I mean, normally as well, you know, if you're an Invoker and you get in the urn, you like to have someone that gets countered by an eventual Spirit Vessel, but there's no one really on the side of Polaris that gets threatened by the item too much. But even so, you know, it is just a nice upgrade, regardless.
True. I mean, Spirit Vessel, you will probably want to get it. The thing is, then Lena's probably going to get Satanic. Naga Siren, firstly, good luck getting the right one. She'll have Manta and Mirror Images. Marcy's not a core, so it's no point in like trying to counter her with a Spirit Vessel. It's still a good item. It's just doesn't count much. Akashi, he feels like he's getting countered.
He certainly is. Snowball on top of him right now, just bullying out the old Naga Siren. And, you know, potentially that could have been a kill if they had a little Sunstrike. But no, probably not. Probably not. It would only have been level 2.
Well, let's start with 100 pure damage, something like that. The one's not. It's decent, but I mean, pure damage is a lot more than normal magic damage. You know, you feel it a little bit. By the way, CML started off with level 1 Sacred Arrow, and he was able to farm a couple of creeps. I like it. I know people have been going for more Starstrom, and that's fine, but I guess the Sacred Arrow build a little bit more.
Yeah, well, we can already see it secured him 5 CS, which, I mean, he's actually pretty much got exactly the same net worth as the, you know, the counter position. Well, actually, no, he's countering the position 4, so yeah, he's doing alright. You know, it's a couple of extra 100 gold.
Arrow?
Potential grab here onto Bombi. There's going to be the Snowball trying to lay this out, and that's all the space Bombi needs to just walk himself away. We'll see him actually taking quite a beating there himself, so just a general good trade of harassment coming out here in this top lane. And it's always going to be a difficult thing about trying to go on anyone when the Rapido's there with a Snowball again and again. And he's actually having a really nice time. You know, contesting first place of the CS chart, 17-4 right now, is a very happy Tusk.
Yeah, especially when you're up against Naga Siren and oh lord.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he takes a heck of a beating. He's still going to carry on going. And meanwhile, first blood actually gets picked up there for CML instead onto Bombi. Rapido can't even get the job done. Akashi barely able to walk himself away. Very unfortunate there for XERXIA, but hey, Polaris happy. But actually, at the same time at the bottom, Karma just gets ran down by all the Eidolons with the help of the Marcy, obviously. Even chasing Jar Jar away. So, you know, good work from Polaris in the 2 side lanes.
I mean, we talked about sort of the defensive options that they have in the bottom lane, right? With the Marcy and the Enigma, you're able to rebound to get away. You can dispose them out of the Nature's Grasp, but offensively, if you can just jump on someone with a stun, like there is a lot of control coming out from these 2 heroes. Level 1 stun from Enigma, not amazing, but it does add up with a couple of Eidolons on top doing the damage.
It definitely does. Quickly racks up there. As just saw as well, another kill found at the top lane. CML dropping this time. Rapido able to get his first kill on the board, and he's actually chasing Akashi away from the tower right now. Maybe they want to try and trap in this Naga. But obviously with the old Quelling Blade, able to tunnel through the trees and should be able to evade this. CML respawning now as well. So they've got to be careful with XERXIA. They don't overextend. They could potentially get caught out. But never mind. They're doing some good damage on towards the Naga Siren. The arrow making a bit of space, but it just doesn't make any difference. Still able to chase him down. An easy peasy kill there on towards the Naga.
This constant harass on Akashi is actually hurting them quite a bit, because what that means is anytime he uses mirror images, they're very low health and they instantly die. And it's a little bit of extra golden farm and experience going for XERXIA. I know that they give double the gold. I'm not sure if they give you good experience, but either way, it's a little bit more resources coming out for them. So, and with Fade Bolt, Snowball, and Shard, you can do a lot of magic damage and keep his health low.
Yeah, definitely. Just exactly the situation Naga does not want to be in. I was saying the start of their side lanes were going alright, but quickly, I guess you noticed that level 3 mark and XERXIA able to start making work happen. Kashi trying to wait, perfect shards, getting the block, all stuck in the trees. Arrow trying to make some space there from CML. Oh, guys, they're not going to be able to find the kill, but it's just forcing him back again and again. Meanwhile, at the bot lane, Jar Jar actually dropping down this time.
It's very unfortunate for him. He's level 3 now. Yeah, he took 2 points in Nature's Grasp. We very rarely see this. We sometimes see something like a 1-3-1 build or a 1-2-2 build, just because Leash Seed's heal almost doubles at level 2. But no, he went for more points in Nature's Grasp. Interesting choice.
Yeah, what do you think the reason is behind that?
I mean, it's not bad if you can catch the Eidolons in it, but even then, Eidolons have pretty decent magic. It's a bit of a question mark, I gotta say. Top lane.
Top lane, yeah. Down goes Bombi. Able to pick off the Rubik. Was a little bit out of position there. Got caught on his own. I guess he was trying to stop the pull from happening, but once Cassius gets involved, it's going to be an easy arrow setup again and again with the ensnare. And yeah, it's very, very difficult for a solo support to try and survive that situation. Did also see Mac try to make a move happen down there at the bot, but couldn't actually find anything at all. So yeah, a little bit of wasted time there. Potentially missed out on like an entire wave. Which, you know, I'm sure JG was quite happy to get the space, considering he is a fair chunk behind this leader now. 45 to 14 compared to his 30 and 9. So big, big difference there.
That's always going to be the problem with going for exhorts, right? You just do not have the base attack damage to either harass the enemy or contest them for creeps. And this is kind of important because Polaris, their draft is slow. You know, Mac... Oh god, we lose. I mean, it doesn't matter how slow you are if you're going to be able to get these kills, but Enigma, when the black hole is down, he actually used, that was the first black hole used. When the black hole is down, the hero can't really do too much. Naga-san just wants to go to the forest and farm. Lina, it is a mid Lina, but she's going for the Caravel. She's going for Maelstrom. Top lane.
Yeah, Rapido in some danger, but he's reached level 6, and he's a tanky boy. He's not really threatened by these two whatsoever. I think there was just too many creeps around. They couldn't quite get the arrow connection, and yeah, Rapido just stands his ground, punches away, and nothing they could do to touch the Tusk at this point. But yeah, as you were saying, that was definitely a nice first usage of the old black hole. Guaranteed the kill on towards the gyrocopter, so pretty nice little move there coming out from Polaris. And JG did make the rotation, but I think he was just like a second too late to get the tornado in to cancel it out, and it did just cost the gyro his life.
This is a very scary situation to be in if you're XERXIA. You have Invoker who goes Hand of Midas, so he's going to be, you know, like, obviously this is a very fine thing. He's going to be spending some time farming. Karma on the gyrocopter, he can show up for fights, but it's not ideal. And Rapido, he's going to go for the aura build, which again is fine. There's nothing, I mean, there's not wrong. The thing is, Polaris wants this slower pace where you go for defensive items, you take your time farming, because they have Lina late game and Naga Siren and Enigma. Like, it cannot go more in their favor. It's a 1,000 gold advantage. Polaris has 62%. I'm feeling very confident. It's like something like 80% if the game continues on this trajectory.
Yeah, especially as we were saying earlier on as well, that XERXIA are generally the team that likes a slower game, likes to, you know, go around that 40-minute mark, and Polaris are, you know, stereotypically quite a fast one. So it'd be interesting to see the fact that Polaris actually have the stronger late, and whether if, you know, XERXIA's general strategy can contest that or not.
We'll find out. I mean, the one person who's really doing well for them right now is Rapido. The other two cores are going to be like kind of in the recovery mode for a little bit. JG, he doesn't want to rotate until... I mean, I wouldn't imagine he wants to rotate until you get the Hand of Midas. It sucks to show up to a lane, try to get a rotation, and he's going to try and go top, actually. Never mind.
Yeah.
We're smoked up. CML, can he break this?
Get it. Oh, it looks like he might. No, just literally steps away a couple of seconds too early there. Smoke goes unbroken. Yeah, that's going to cost this Naga Siren's life for sure. Oh, they don't go for it. They go for the illusion instead. Oh no, they even try to go for the grab, but still it's just illusions. The Naga Siren able to get himself away, and yeah, that's pretty damn big. As we were saying, you know, JG still hasn't got that Hand of Midas completed, and the fact that now it's more time wasted where he can't get it, it's going to punch this game even more. Even Mac able to pick up this DD, a quick couple of spells into the face of the old Rubik. And that's just an easy peasy kill credit there for Mac. And alright, this is definitely starting to look a little bit rough here for XERXIA. 2k gold behind, 10 minutes in. And they've got to start trying to make some work happen. They're going to try now go on towards back. Rapido even get involved with the damage on the Tusk. Might be enough. Arrow connected on towards the tree. Potentially still level 4. This can't do his ult or anything like that. He drops. Rapido also going to fall. Oh my lord. Mac just standing his ground. Double damage rune plus the sidekick that came in from Jing. Just absolutely no way they could bring her down.
He's got some stats on. He's got the Falcon Blade. He's got Infused Raindrop to protect against magic damage. Like, he is not... And he's level 10 in 10 minutes. So he is... Got the stats. He's got the durability. Trying to kill him was not easy. And as we mentioned, Rapido, he's going for the aura build. This is not much damage. Yeah, he has... You know, he's got some levels on him, and he's a core Tusk, but he's not coming out with the Orb of Corrosion that we see sometimes they go for. You know, try to get that Deso. No, he's just... He's got Greaves. I mean, sorry, Mech. That's not damage. No. Oh, did you see what CML just did?
Yeah, snatched away the creep from the gyro. Very nasty.
That was just rude. That was just rude. You know.
I mean, it's just really, really rough. All three cores on the side of Polaris very comfortably ahead of the opposing cores as well. Like 600 gold separating the poorest core on side of Polaris to the richest on XERXIA. Very comfortable position there for the Dire squad. Looks like they're also going to try and go for Karma right now. Ooh, the rebound not actually connecting there, and a little bit of luck for Karma to get away with that one.
JG, he does get the end of minus 12 minutes in. Oh, bottom lane. There's a black hole. You want to make sure he doesn't steal it? Use it on him.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, as long as if Bok uses a spell between now and when the Rubik respawns. I'm sure probably right now, Bombi is just watching Bok like, does he cast a spell? Does he cast a spell? Do I just TP down there and try and steal it? I'm sure he'd absolutely love to if he can. I mean, he's up in 10 seconds. Bok still hasn't actually cast a different skill.
Oh, yeah. It's no demonic conversions.
Yeah.
No midnight falls. Do you want to stun a creep?
He's
Is he?
thinking about... he TP's mid.
No.
Oh, Bombi.
Bombi.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Be a man. Go walk to the Rubik. Well, to be honest, I don't think he would have made it in time anyway.
No, probably not. He probably would have ended up dying immediately afterwards there from the Marcy as well. But it doesn't matter, you know. We don't care if he dies. We just want entertainment.
This is very scary, though. Gotta say, I mean, entertaining for Polaris.
Oh, Bombi's dead, and I think you've just lagged out again there, Otomo.
Oh,
Are you back?
yep. Sorry about that.
Okay, that's alright. Got to close down those tabs from last night, Otomo. Wink,
Oh
wink.
God! You think I have tabs open? It's all baby songs to put your 2-year-old to sleep. That's all they are.
Fair enough. Still. Oh dear. Now 7k gold is the lead there for Polaris at just 14 minutes. Not even 14 minutes, yeah, this is just rough. And it looks like it's going to be another kill. Set up there onto Sharjah, ensnare into the arrow, and just the right clicks alone coming in from Akashi tearing to pieces. Actually, CML did just snatch the last hit there away, but it's just non-stop action from Polaris. Actually, talk about the action. Jing in some danger there at the bot. The heals coming in the end there from the Enigma. He's still alive. God damn, eventually he does die, but it took a fair bit of time.
The extra 7 strength from the possessed mask adds up, and yeah, Marcy is very durable, even just at level 8 with almost 1400 health. And you're fine though. You know, let Jing die. He keeps Bok alive. That's his job. He's the bodyguard in that situation. Breaks the smoke, and this is the second time where we see those smokes. At least this time, just to get a kill, but the previous time, they just got nothing out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And the itemization of Bok as well. You know, normally when you see Enigmas versus Rubiks, they try and go for, you know, like quite an early Lincoln Sphere, BKB or something, just to make sure they get their ultimate off. But like you were saying earlier, he's not really that, you know, he's not that interested in his ultimate. He's just itemizing for those auras. Yeah, going to be going for the Wraith Pact of all items, which that still just blocks physical damage, right?
It does. It's very good against the Tusk and I guess Gyro, right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, it looks like Max in a little bit caught out position right now. Just runs straight into a sentry ward.
Big kill.
That is massive. 440 gold gets given over towards Bombi. I'm sure they would have liked Karma to have that money, but regardless, you know, feels good there for a support to get that little bit of a cash injection.
And he also has the Dragon Slave on him, so he can look at that. Just go anything that shows up, he's just gonna be able to Dragon Slave. Yeah, it's a fantastic kill that they were able to get for XERXIA. It's a kind of a drop in the bucket, you know what I mean? Like you gotta get a lot more out of this before you can say they're making a comeback.
Yeah, I mean, getting that kill on the Lina just sort of balanced the chart a little bit, but it's still set a 92% win probability for Polaris at just 16 minutes in. That is nuts.
Pretty wild. And check out Jaja. He's going for the Max Nature's Grasp build. It's pretty good for defending your towers, and he does feel like, you know, if I'm going to get, like, living armor's not enough to keep those buildings alive. It's like not enough heal. I might as well just try and kill the creeps and slow them down. And Nature's Grasp is very useful in those early fights as well. And just, I don't know, you know, I'm not feeling like XERXIA, the map is getting smaller for them. You can see they're making ganks in their own jungle, trying to find people. Whereas Polaris, they're having someone every lane farming, basically.
Yeah, it's definitely looking a bit bleak for him. Maybe, right, okay, maybe the big turnaround here, JG starts putting all the rest of his levels into Exhort, try and get the Cataclysm online, and
Oh
then
yes.
combo it up with the Overgrowth. Like, I could see that definitely being able to start swinging these fights around, because as it stands at the moment, it just looks like Polaris is going to come out on top every single time.
I mean, I love that idea, right? If you can get, but first you're gonna have to get besides the max. Oh, Bach, he's alright. Just like that rebound, giving him that extra movement speed. Thing is, besides the fact that Invoker needs to max exhort and have an Aghanim Scepter, you also need to get a Blink Dagger on Jaja, which I think they could get the timing together, right? Where they all have these items to get at the same time. However, XERXIA, they're feeling like they need JG more to be more active around the map, and they're giving him a Boots of Travel instead. JG. Still gets stunned, actually. He's got a Force Staff. That's how scared they are right now of this. You never see this on Invoker so early, but it just feels like they need, the save on everyone.
Yeah, just try and evade death as much as possible, which, yeah, it's definitely something that they need right now. They've just been punished quite relentlessly throughout the majority of this game. I mean, it has been a little while since we've seen Polaris get a kill, mind you. Like, XERXIA just been able to play quite defensively, keeping themselves alive for as long as possible, but even though nobody's dying, the net worth lead isn't really changing. It's still sat at a very comfortable 8,000 gold there in the hands of Polaris. Trying to go onto JG. Again, the 4 staff bringing him to safety. So still, no extra kill there for Polaris.
And the map is still getting smaller, right? All the tier 1s have been lost by XERXIA. And CML is... that sentry ward so close to the observer ward for the mid lane. So they know XERXIA, they know he's there. Arrow comes out. Yeah, it's an easy dodge. Come on, CML. Yeah, you're never going to catch him with that kind of arrow.
Maybe it would have been even more embarrassing if he was actually aiming for the creep, but he just steps forward a little bit too early for him. That'd be extra sad.
The best thing to do is aim for the creep. If you hit the hero, you're like, see? I told you it would work.
That's the strat. Just always aim for creeps and you'll hit heroes. It's always going to be the other way around.
To be fair, you'll never miss. Right? You'll always hit either a good target or your target. You're going to get one or the other.
Yeah. Alright, well, now BKB has just been completed for Mac. Is this now the go time where Polaris just try to look for a fight? Or, well, actually, it looks like they are. Got this smoke going on with the 2 of them. Minute Shadow ready to use. Initiation from Jing. Got the grab. Unfortunately, the arrow a little bit off the mark. Maybe it's going to allow a potential turnaround here from XERXIA. The Tusk walking himself on out. EMP just connects onto Jing, but he's still got some mana to play with. And it looks like both teams, just posturing around each other. Nobody ends up falling down. But also, no high prioritized ultimates got expended either. Black Coal's still available. Still Laguna as well. Song of the Siren, all that stuff. So Polaris can definitely just go straight back in.
Box got the Wraith Pact as well. Something we can mention about this here is that it does, this item is that it does do damage at the start. 30 damage a second in AoE. That really adds up in the early stage of the game where people are moving around with 1,000 health on the Rubik, another 1,200 on the Train Protector. Like this Wraith Pact over time will do significant damage.
Yeah, definitely. It will tick up. I have to make sure we try and keep a track of that, and like the post-fight information, see how much damage that the Enigma actually does output.
Right. You'll see you're like 12, 43, and you're like, okay, I picked up for no reason.
Hey, I've seen many situations in Dota where people, get away with less life than that, so it could make all the difference at Tomo.
Still. I mean, it's not. I don't know if it's gonna come by that inch. It's like, oh yes, the Wraith Pack got him. It's pretty big though. Like the 9 radius is pretty generous. And overall, Polaris, while they haven't really sort of made a concentrated giant effort to take a fight, they have been putting like slow pressure. Whereas they're always pushing a lane. If the Naga Siren pushing one other lane, this bottom tier 1's gonna fall as well.
Yeah, easy objective cleared up there.
And a big issue for them because you're the one with the Trained Protector. That tier 2 loss means that you lose the outpost, so that experience gap is going to get bigger, and just makes the Trained feel a little bit more impotent. You pick this guy to keep buildings alive, and you lost 4 already.
Yeah, not quite the big Trained Protector show that we've seen in a lot of other series. Like many teams have been prioritizing this hero quite a lot, and its effects just feel so prevalent, like in team fights and yeah, keeping those buildings alive. But this game just not able to accomplish too much. Sunstrike into the pit to try and see if Polaris were doing it. They were actually there, but they were still under the effects of the smoke, so no information for XERXIA to work with, and that's just going to allow Polaris to clean this objective so quickly. Aegis is already beyond the ground. In comes XERXIA to maybe try and stop something right now, but it doesn't matter. Aegis already into the hands of back. Maybe they can get a free kill on towards Jing, but 4-staff bringing the Marcy to safety. And Polaris, they just back on out. Free objective, don't lose anything in return. Easy peasy.
Lack of damage is killing XERXIA right now. And not only are they a little bit behind in terms of like everything which we talked about from the start of the game, but I mean, like we said, it's a Tusk with Greaves, you know, it's an Invoker who has got a 4-staff and a Boots of Travel, you know, it's... And Gyrocopter is not a hero that does a huge amount of damage to one target, you know, he does like decent damage in the area, something like a Luna, where, you know, you're more of a spread damage dealer and you can have someone else who sort of the hammer to single targets.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Gyro as well, he is getting beefy. You know, he's got his Bellstroms, got his Ags. He's working on towards that Satanic. He's not a million miles away from it, to be honest. He could be doing quite nice. He is indeed. He does actually show himself at the top. There is a few members of Polaris in the area, but it doesn't look like they're going to try and gank him. You know, just leave him to his own devices, let his farm build up. Talking about farm, though, Mac just now completed his Glepnir. So another big power spike there for Polaris. See if they want to try and make something happen off of that. And yes, they do. First usage. Gets the connection onto Karma. Unfortunately, Arrow, though, off the mark.
They steal the rebound. That's a pretty useful spell.
That it is.
It is. I mean, it's... I don't know if it's useful to throw the Rubik, though. I think if you're Rubik, you'd much rather have the Dispose, just so you can grab someone from the enemy side, get them to your side.
It'd be nice if he had his shard though, because you can use it then on teammates, can't you? And just send them flying in. I mean, not that there's really anyone you'd want to send flying in on your team. I guess the Tusk, if anybody, but
or the Treants, right? Free Blink Dagger. That would be.
Yeah, that's very true.
And all they need after that is going to be the Evoker Aghanim Scepter. Unfortunately, he's going to go for the Blink Dagger. So they're not going for the wombo combo play on XERXIA. They're kind of going for, let's sort of dance around them and see if we can get a team fight a pick off. It's an interesting strategy. Going high, you know, getting a heavy team fight against a team with Naga is very risky, and the Black Hole. Oh dear.
First eyes there at the bottom. It looks like XERXIA are going to try and take this fight. They know there's no Naga Siren. Do some decent damage on towards the Marcy. Tornado connects onto 2. Sunstrike does some damage. Even a buyback in from Jar Jar gets a nice overgrowth onto the 2 in the back lines. The Marcy is down. Max taking a bit of beating, but he's just so damn quick. Going to be able to turn around. Black Hole is there, but it gets stolen away from Bombi. 4-staffing in. Oh, the Solid Siren cannot there for Akashi. Can Bombi actually use this ability or not? He's still got it, but it looks like he's going to get caught. I did get cancelled. It's just complete disarray now for XERXIA. They can't get anything done. Oh, they thought they could take the fight without Akashi there, but he's just so damn quick, gets involved in seconds, and looks like he's going to be able to get this +1 onto Jar Jar as well. Arrow coming on through. It's going to be a dead tree. Even a buyback there from Bombi, and actually, multiple 4-staffs do push the Tree and Protector to safety. But regardless, you know, it's a positive win there for Polaris. They also find the tier 2, still got their Aegis intact, and they've, 3 kills and a buyback. That's a massive win for them.
And they got the tier 2 tower. It's like both the sports buyback, so their economy is going to be shot for a while. Actually, Bombi is pretty farm for this stage of the game, but Jaja on the Train Protector, he's been suffering. He was going to go for a Blink Dagger, cannot get it now. He's still got a decent overgrowth, but not enough. Polaris, they've got just more numbers, you know. They're like all the stats favoring them. Black Hole came out, but it was literally a millisecond before the Naga Siren interrupted it. Like it was like, it's better if you didn't use it, you know, because it went on cooldown and got no value out of it.
Yeah, I didn't even, like, hear it or see it or anything. Like, it just went on cooldown on my screen. Very unfortunate there. Ooh, JG at the bot. Okay, Mac and Jing were probing for him, but he manages to go in the right direction and TP out. Very fortunate for him there. But, yeah, he is suffering massively. He's 8,000 gold behind his counterpart mid on Mac. He's just really struggling to get things done, and now I really do wish, right, that they just go, we need some big combo damage, and he goes for the Ags. Like, I really feel that that's the only way they could turn this game around now.
I like that idea if they go for it. The thing is, you have to also land the overgrowth. It's a big risk, big reward kind of play.
Mm-hmm.
XERXIA, they're not going for it. They're just like, no, we want to go for, like we said, dance around them, right? Max out the nature's grasp on the tree and to slow them down. Lots of mobility. This mobility is pretty good. It saves them whenever anyone gets ensnared. They just push them out of the arrow range. Oh dear,
Bombi.
Jaja.
Oh no! Like, Bombi did really good, like, footwork there to avoid it and TP out, but then he just shows them where Jar Jar is, but it doesn't look like there's any way for Polaris to catch the tree, and he should be fine. And, Age is also timing out. Okay, so XERXIA have weathered the storm a little bit. But regardless, Roshan number 2, 3 minutes away at the very minimum. And, is that what Polaris are going to wait for? Do you think they might try and, you know, force another fight before that?
You can wait for it and you control the map. There's nothing wrong with it. This is something that we're seeing the pros go for. It's almost always the second Aegis that is the one that gives them the racks, right? The first Aegis is just, all right, take as many tier 2s, close up the map, and we're going to be fine. Second Aegis is the one where you go like, okay, let's try and win the game. Unless they can get a couple of pickoffs, then you're like, oh, you're going to be pick up. But even if you get pickoffs in this situation, you're not that close to the enemy side. You know, you are pushing top. Most of the time, you're going to be fighting around the Roche area to secure it. Tough to go from Roche all the way to enemy tower. Oh dear.
Jing just finds Jar Jar chilling in the trees. Easy kill onto the tree, and that is now the final tier 2 disappearing there for the side of XERXIA. Absolutely no external presence on the map. And looks like Polaris want to potentially try and keep pushing forwards here. Moonlight Shadow gonna allow Mac to start beating into the tier 3. Chucking a couple of spells onto Karma. Arrow doesn't land quite. And actually getting Telekinesis grab on towards the Lina. Maybe Mac's stepping out of position right now, but he's standing his ground, holding onto that BKB. Nerves of steel. Even Jing being able to disengage. So again, no one falls down. They do some decent damage to the tier 3 as well. So I guess you could chalk it up to another little win there for Polaris.
It's not. I mean, it's not that bad for XERXIA. If you think about, they did lose their Trained Protector, but that was his buyback death, so he's gonna have a lower cooldown next time. They're just gonna be able to heal up the tower, so it's not ideal. You know, not gonna lie, it's not ideal, but it's not too terrible. What sucks is how far Jaja is from the Blink Dagger. It's 30 minutes and he still doesn't have it.
Yeah, this is just a real rough position 5 show. And I mean, hey, all the supports out there who's watching this game, they all know what this feels like. There are just some games where you get absolutely no items, no farm, you just die continuously. And it's one of those games. Meanwhile, Jing charging very aggressively up towards the high ground as BKB not keeping him alive there against the Sunstrike. And yeah, just ends up throwing his life away. Down for 40 seconds right now. Let's see if Surge can try and use this. Going for a quick smoke. Karma, the only one who isn't affected by it. Maybe they just want to try and bait out the gyro. And Polaris, it looks like they're going to take the bait. They do see Karma there, both just holding opposite sides of this mid lane right now. Bombi Smoke gets broken there onto Kashi. Ward finds him. LSA lands on towards the Naga. Sorry, and where's going to be the follow-up control? Jumping everything on top of the Naga, but still so damn healthy, not really being effective. Black Hole off onto the sidelines there as well. Karma, no control. The Black Hole does get stolen, but just cancelled there from the Song of the Siren. Just nothing that XERXIA could do in these fights. It's just rough again and again. And Kashi going to be able to bring down the Rubik eventually. Meanwhile, JG desperately trying to run away here with the BKB and Invis, and it looks like he will make it. But regardless, just another big win there from Polaris.
And without your carry to help you defend, like with you barely have damage as it is with your carry. Now he's gone. Just super unfortunate right now for Polaris. The second Black Hole stolen, second Black Hole cancelled instantly by the sleep. And Mac, he wants more.
Not even done. LSA lands onto the two of them. And they're just dead. I think that's a GG call. Yes, it is. Karma says it. And they tap out. Polaris take the first game of this best of 3 series. And pretty damn dominantly as well.
I mean, we kind of said, right, like, I think in the, 6th, 7th minute, we looked at it and we're like, if this continues on this trajectory, there's just no way that XERXIA is going to be able to bring it back. That's just not going to happen. Polaris was getting everything they wanted on all the lanes, really. And JG wasn't able to make pressure with the Invoker. He waits for this Randomize, gets it late, decides to go for like the Force Staff. And it's not, again, there's not bad things happening. XERXIA weren't doing things that are bad. They're just having no chance of making a comeback with the way that things were going for them. You know, you have no damage coming out from the builds they were using. And Wraithpact, oh, Wraithpact did something. Wait, where's the damage from Wraithpact? It did 1,300 damage.
Woo,
I guess that's okay.
That's pretty good. That's not bad. You know,
Yeah.
that all adds up. That's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
so it's like,
I was gonna say, like, you see Karma as well throwing the stats into disarray there, deleting all of his items. You know, just 118 net worth at the end. What a Chad.
he's like, dude, he's like, does he not know this is not a pub, Karma? We only do that in pubs. And
Yeah.
then you just like, right, GG, you know, bad noob team and mid. That's what you do. But really tough situation right now for XERXIA. They need something a little bit more aggressive. And it's very clear that Polaris, they were aware of XERXIA's very slow play style. It is going to be Invoker Midas. It's going to be the Gyrocopter farming. It's going to be Tusk with them Greaves. Like, these are not heroes that are going to be online quick. They say, all right, we'll just take guys who also want to farm, but can do a little bit more early game.
Yeah, and it definitely showed it right there. They were just able to apply so much pressure, and there was just no answers whatsoever coming out from XERXIA. They could not weather the storm to, you know, allow their Gyro and an Evoker to get big enough to try and contest them, and yeah, they just get brought down. I do think that, yeah, going for the Ags play probably would have been the only way to come back, in my professional opinion. But yeah, I could definitely be wrong there. Ben,
Oh, yes.
yeah. Don't say it like that, Otomo. I could be wrong. No, I am wrong. But yeah, anyway, guys, that is the first game down of this best of 3. Game number 2 will be coming up in about 10 minutes' time. So do not go anywhere. We've got more Dotes to come.